For me, the got privilege activity was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I was able to find most of the items on the list with ease. What I found the most difficult was pretending to be a Latina woman because to me, being a black woman and being a Latina woman are very close. So, for example, when I was looking for a Latina book, I didn't know if that meant that it had to be in Spanish because not all Latina women speak Spanish. I found a book that's called I Love My Hair, and the little girl on the front looks like she could be African American or Afro Latina. So that's where the conflict lied for me because I didn't really know how to go about finding things that were Latina but weren't necessarily in Spanish. Like looking for greeting cards, I found a card that just said 40 is fun or something of that nature. It wasn't in Spanish, it didn't have anybody on the front of it. So I guess my difficulty lied in trying to figure out what Latina meant. For example, the Band-Aids. A Latina woman comes in someone as light as one of our Caucasian classmates and then as brown as myself. So to say find a Band-Aid of a Latina skin tone or a black skin tone is difficult because there's so many of them. So the same thing went for foundation and cover-up makeup. I found, a range of different shades which could fit a range of different Latina women. I found all of my items at Target. Another difficulty that I had in the store was trying to find Latina hair products because one Latina woman may use Aussie or Pantene and another may have to use Shea Moisture or Miss Jessie's or another natural hair care line. I found everything on the list within an aisle where Caucasian products would be. Like I found the Maybelline makeup, I think it was Fit Me, and it was next to shades where Caucasian shades would be or white American shades would be. Everything was basically the same price except for the natural hair care products, which cost a little bit more, but most of them have all natural ingredients and are sulfate free, so that pushes up the price a little bit. As I stated before, I only went to one store, which was Target. One question that was difficult for me on the list of questions was what I would do if I needed help finding makeup. In Target, there's rarely people ever in that cosmetic section, so I would either have to Google shades for brown skin in the Maybelline Fit Me line, or I'd have to kind of just match it up to the bottles, which isn't very conducive, but it's what we have to do. But that can happen with a Caucasian person as well, who may be more fair-skinned in the winter and more tan in the summer, and they're not sure which shade they are with the seasons transitioning. I did not see any black workers in the beauty aisle, but there was a black woman working in the clothing aisle who actually helped me find the pantyhose that were a more brown shade, which was really helpful. Honestly, this activity wasn't very hard for me because I'm so used to being brown skinned, and I've seen how far we've come in terms of finding products in a store. I remember when I was younger not being able to find pantyhose that matched my skin, not being able to find birthday cards, and so when I heard other classmates talking about how hard it was for them to find birthday cards and to find Band-Aids, I'm thinking to myself, it's really not that hard. The whole Hallmark mahogany section is for black people and for brown people, which could fit a Latina woman. Unfortunately, Target did not have that section, so I had to get a generic card, which was probably the only thing I couldn't find. And I also couldn't find a solely Latina romance novel. I found one with two tan-skinned people on the cover, which I guess can go Latina or black. I found a really pretty doll from the Our Generation brand, which had Native American dolls, Caucasian dolls, brown dolls with braids in their hair, Latina dolls, and her name was Abril, which means April in Spanish, so I knew for a fact that she was Latina. Of course, I will say that the African American sections are a little bit smaller. there aren't as many dark shades of makeup, but we've really come a long way. And I do think that it is easier to be white American and find certain things such as band-aids, but overall the activity wasn't too difficult for me. I did enjoy going on the scavenger hunt, and it made me really think of, what is Latina? What does that really mean? But I appreciate the activity, and I hope that my classmates enjoyed it as well.